to the show. This is the road trip, and as the title of the show says, 6. That's a magic number, and for those who are familiar with De La Soul, you know what I mean. But their number's a little bit smaller. But Arsenal 6 is a good number. So Arsenal had a good weekend, at least on the men's side. Women's side, not so much. But we'll get into all of that and then some. As you can see, I've got some friends with me today. First off, friends. Mr. Tom, how are you doing?
All your friends are in blue.
Mr. Tom, how are you doing? Let's try this again.
It took him 15 seconds.
I know, he didn't waste any time. But anyways, Mr. Tom, how are you doing?
Nothing that time? Nothing that time, Tony? May I?
Dude, answer the question before he does.
I am fantastic. I'm shattered. I'm tired because of the Superb Bowl that went to overtime, which is not conducive to UK time. I tell you that. End up finishing about 4 a.m. Something like that. However, that being said, footballing wise, fantastic weekend. Generally, can't complain. I also, spoiler, I've got crisps this week, and I've probably used them before. I don't care. I've been stung for the last month eating crisps constantly that I went on to absolutely despise. So,
and we made videos of it too. So there you go.
But
next up, Tony Turner, how are you doing, sir?
I'm feeling better than I did most of the last week, and definitely feeling better than I was Saturday.
Cool. Good to hear.
Tony,
like that.
I am your conscience.
Oh boy. And Spencer from Virginia.
Hold on. I got a
jeez. What?
I'm doing fine, Gary. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. What, Tom? Okay, Tom.
What is it? What nonsense do you have, Tony? What is it?
Together, Tony.
Tom was on my shoulder. I had a little devil on my shoulder.
Let's say hello to our first guest. BX from the Boogie Down is in the house. Welcome. Yeah, Mr. Tom, he's called that the Care Bear stare. Do you know what a Care Bear is?
I know what a Care Bear is, but I don't know what a Care Bear stare is.
It's whatever you were doing.
Was it?
I know. That look you were giving me, or giving Tony, I can't remember which one it was. But maybe it's not something you can repeat. It happens, I think. The Cody Crybabies. What is that?
That's a wrestling.
Is that the Broncos?
Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shots fired 8 months before the season starts.
Shots fired. Yeah. So, you guys talk about there was a good Super Bowl on, and I think I was telling people, that's just a blip the way this game is going. As soon as Mahomes decides time to win this thing, it'll happen, and actually it happened.
Let's get this straight though. The 49ers choked that away.
Hey. You know
hold on now.
Shanahan is known to do that, right?
Ray McLeod should have known better. Clemson player should have known better when the ball was fumbled to drop on it, not try to pick it up and be a hero. That was the turning point in the game.
The turning point of the game.
There was many turnovers and mistakes in this game. You don't make an extra point. We had 2 fumbles. We had lots of penalties that extended drives, and that's how the first touchdown. I mean, you could have called it anyway. The biggest issue in this whole game was that extra point. It would have made a difference.
No.
The biggest turning point,
you'll see, is a different game.
Muff punt.
Nope.
I want to know Tony's expertise.
Mine was when they started playing 10 yards off of fucking receivers. Yeah, you're not complete a pass. You have Mahomes back there, and you got 10 yards of space.
Too soft coverage.
I preferred it when Tony's expertise was delivered in English.
But this is okay, though. I'll say this much. Brady got some gifts in his Super Bowls where the bounces went right, and Mahomes got his. So, I mean, that's not everybody can destroy the Bills, Gary.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
You beat the crap out of the Bills twice.
Mm.
Did you not? You beat the crap out of the Steelers the 3 times the Cowboys went. They dominated. The Broncos
Very true.
dominated the Falcons in 99.
True.
But what's Mahomes and the Chiefs had to do? Close games. It's all good.
Well,
Well,
what's
their
Dallas done
third
since-
Super Bowl coming from 10 behind, right?
And I hear people
Well,
already trying to say Reed and Mahomes are better than Brady and Belichick. Well, calm the
boy,
brakes
oh
now.
boy.
Pump
Let's say-
them.
That's before
Not
we
sure
get
about that.
continue on. Let's say hi to Miss Melina's in the house. Welcome to the show, Miss Melina. We are talking Super Bowl, but we'll get to the Arsenal talk.
Sorry, we're talking about American football right now.
I said, yeah. I don't. What?
She's in Canada, didn't she
What
watch
gave
it?
that away, Tony?
What? Well, Tony, what are you saying? I just said we're talking. What?
Isn't Miss Molina in Canada? So she knows what American football is.
Yeah, she knows what it is. They
Yeah.
got Canadian Football League up there.
Yeah. CFL.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan.
Grey
Rough
Cup,
Riders.
bro.
There you go. So yeah. So no, I it was a good Super Bowl. Both teams had a chance to, I think, put it away. Both teams could not. They made mistakes on both sides. The team with the better quarterback won at the end of the day.
Yep.
So there you go. Winning. I don't think Purdy had all the weapons in the Super Bowl for sure.
Mhm.
You could tell. He just isn't Mahomes.
Yep.
Mahomes had who? Who did Mahomes have on his side?
Rasheed
Didn't have
Rice,
McCaffrey. Didn't have.
McKinnon, Travis
God,
Kelce,
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, the Swifties,
Well, the
Goodell,
Swifties were in the
mate,
house.
Arn.
The one that was proper mugging for the camera next to her in the white
Yeah.
vest.
That's
I-
a
I'm
Ryan
I'm
Reynolds
so
fight. Yeah.
I'm so glad that I did
Yeah.
not play that
That was
drinking
Blake
game.
Lively.
Yes.
Do you
Oh.
think Taylor Swift killed anybody last night?
What?
I bet playing a drinking
Like-
game with Taylor Swift, you would have died from alcohol poisoning.
What? Where did that come
He's
from? How do you
talking
know?
about
You've
the
been out?
amount of
Have you
time
been out
she's on
partying with her
camera.
or something?
No, it makes sense.
Tony.
I'm talking about every time. If you had to take a shot every time they showed her,
Oh,
there
a
would be
game. I
many
thought you
dead-
meant like hanging out
many
with her or
dead
something.
people.
No, he said he said she'd killed. How many people did she kill last night in a drinking game of how many times she's on camera?
Very true. Very true. Let's hi.
Pay attention,
Stan
Gary.
is in the house to
my
say, he
lab
says,
set.
hello, ladies. Hello, Stan. Yes. Pacheco, the Puerto Rican. There you go. But that's the thing about this game. I mean, both teams didn't have they had McCaffrey. He's much better than Pacheco, right? They had Debo. Debo's better than probably any wide receiver on the other side. All right. So 49ers had some weapons. I watched the Super Bowl. No offense, but what a boring sport. Yeah, it was pretty boring for a bit, that Super Bowl.
That was a good game.
It wasn't as entertaining as it could be. Let's just say that.
It's done being entertaining. They're all one possession games. They have been for.
You want
15 years
parity,
now.
and then you get it, and then you get upset by it.
Yep.
What do you want?
I
You want
said
blowouts?
this- No, because what I think people have been spoiled. Because from watching the documentary series America's Game, you got from 1970 to 1999, just absolute thrashings. Of,
Mhm.
one team would be significantly better than the other on the day, and the
And it's-
games would be over by the third quarter.
The NFC
then-
won 13 straight.
Yeah.
There you go. But
But
then
the Bills,
it turns around.
the Bills were
Do you
the
know
Bills
the
lost
most?
4 in a row.
Do you know
The
the
new-
most
the first
points
one, New
Tom
York-
Brady won by, Gary?
Huh?
Do you know the most points Tom Brady won by?
Probably 3 points. I don't know.
10.
10, and that
Yeah.
was with Tampa Bay.
No, actually, he won 31-9 on that one.
Yeah.
But when he was with the Patriots, the most they won by was 10.
Well, think about what he had at New England. The only time they had a good an offensive attack, they lost. So he like I told you, the best quarterback wins. Once again, not the best offensive weapons. But yeah. Taylor Swift has recorded around 500 songs about boyfriends leaving her, but not about one.
You did it again. You did it again.
Yes, he did. What a legend, Stan. What a legend.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Nope. But we read it and we all said it out loud in our brain.
I read it in your voice. I read it in your reluctant voice, going.
And you're off the
"What one
show
of
now.
that?"
The assembled welcome to the show.
Could you recite it in Stan's voice?
Oh man, but that's the Super Bowl chat. Let's get into it. We're 10 minutes in.
I mean, I
You haven't
think I
said a
could.
damn thing about what happened this weekend. Started off. Is it Friday? Is that right?
Stop. It's dead already.
When did your team play, Mr. Tom?
Saturday.
Oh, we play Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, Saturday. Oh, was it an
You
early
were-
game?
Gary,
We did a
Yes, sir.
show
you were
during
on the stream.
it.
What
was
was
what-
happening?
Was I watching it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, damn.
Gary
It's
was pretending
been
to
a
watch
long
it.
weekend. It's been a long weekend. I've done a lot.
You asked me which game you should watch, to which I said that game, but you weren't on television. So, but then I dissuaded you from watching Southampton, which was my true revenge because you missed out on 8 goals.
Yes, and you had me watch the Luton game, which
Luton and
went wrong.
Tom, I've came to a conclusion in these 12 minutes of the show.
Oh, boy.
Gary
Yes, sir.
was playing the Taylor Swift drinking game because his mind isn't there.
No,
Near death for Gary.
I guess
There
so.
you go, Jeff.
But let's
I
get
think
into
he's
it.
trying
Let's
to
get
act. I
into
think he's
it.
trying to act like me, to be honest, because he's being very aloof.
Let's get into it here. All right, Arsenal. Oh, well, your team won what? 3-1, Mr. Tom.
Why are you putting a goal against us? You know
Oh.
damn well it was 3-0. I told you 16 minutes ago it was 3-0. You said you had typed it when you were asking me how to spell Rotherham.
That's
or
true.
Rotherham.
But you know what? I forgot where you gave me the score. So your team won 3-0, and that, folks, is the Leeds second.
Thank you for that, Gary. Thank you. It's very kind of you.
Mr. Tom,
Amazing.
give us a little quick synopsis of how that went for you.
Oh fuck! I deleted it. I should have put up the photo of Bamford elbowing the ball into the goal.
Oh man, is that? Oh, what?
Give me a minute. I'm
You
going
can
to
do that in
re-find
that.
that
You can do
sucker.
that in that league. But while you're doing that, we'll
Oh, you can do that in that league.
we'll get into
evidently.
it. Arsenal wins 6-0. Quick synopsis. I liked it, Mr. Tony. Tell me quickly about. Quick, not long. We're gonna get into it a little bit longer. but-
Lots of shots, lots of attempts on shots, and lots of balls in the net.
Very nice. And Spencer, quick synopsis.
Everything that should have happened in the first West Ham game happened in this game.
Very true. Very true.
And I could also say we have a Jesus problem.
Good segue, Tony. I agree with you.
We'll get into that, but first, the
Mhm.
Leeds minute. Mr. Tom,
I've got it.
show it. Very nice.
Successful.
Wow, that is crazy.
But we don't need
He,
VAR.
he even divided to celebrate by going,
He didn't do an elbow drop. That would have been a better time.
he should have. He should have.
Whose elbow
I-
drop would you want to
but-
see?
Oh,
Just
man.
excuse me a second. I will find the alternate angle that I had saved. I really shouldn't have deleted all my stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, Bix.
No,
It's
no,
Tony.
no, I'll find it.
Tony calls him mayhem. Yeah, you know what? No, Tony doesn't even know he's doing it. That's the crazy part. Stefan's in the house. Welcome to the show, Stefan.
No, the crazy part is I make you think I have no idea. I'm
You
doing
have
it.
no clue, Tony. I asked your best friend, Mr. Tom. Does Tony know anything of what he does?
It's debatable at best.
See, there you go. He can't
Oh, hang
confirm
on,
or
I've got the
deny,
ex-
which basically means nah.
I've got the exclusive angle of the opposite angle of the goal.
Oh damn, that's a big head.
Right there, JD McDonough.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But
Cool. So you went 3-0. Does it help you in the league?
yeah, it does actually, because we're 1 point behind Southampton now. I have one final angle of it.
Oh, damn. Did he pull it out during the game?
That is a boxing glove on a stick.
Yes. So I was
So if
just
ever
saying,
that comes out, that is what we're referencing. But yeah,
there you go. Boxing glove on the stick, says Stefan. Very
Not,
cool.
not as good as a tractor, but
All right, so we'll get into it. We'll go round table here. But yeah, so we'll get into a little bit more detail in the Arsenal match. Going into this game, I definitely, as everybody else, we needed to not redeem ourselves, but continue to build on the Liverpool match, and we needed to respond to what we saw against West Ham the last 2 times we played them. I didn't even call for goals because I'm getting tired saying we're good for 3 goals in every match because we haven't been lately. But yes, we needed to show up, and once again, as Tony will get into it, we are missing a starter or 2 or 3, and so far Ted has been able to figure out a way. Hopefully, he just rides this wave for a bit, and we'll see. Because once again, we got a 5-game stretch up until the City match, and we need to be playing really good at that point. So hopefully, he has the team clicking. But no, really good game. If you want to, we can go through all the goals, but I think in general, I really love
you
this
can
game.
just skip to one thing to know how good we did.
Yeah.
Do
What is that?
you know what that is, Gary?
No.
can I guess
Cedric
what
and
that
how
is,
many
Tony?
played.
Can I
Cedric and how
guess?
many played. That's all you need
Oh.
to know.
That tells you what?
Tells you that Arsenal was doing very well. And they put out the 2 shittiest players.
Yeah, they should. And in general, they should probably not have played. And Walters probably should have played.
I mean, isn't that the prime time you should put out some kids? You're up 6-0. Come on.
He did put one out.
Yes.
The one he trusts.
That's what he keeps telling us, right? He
What one
doesn't.
did he
He
send
doesn't
out?
really. He tells us stuff. We think he doesn't know what he's doing, but he tells us and he doesn't lie. So, yeah, Mr. Tom, how'd you feel about the game? You've seen a good 8 minutes of it?
I watched 3 minutes and 6 seconds of the game.
Oh, not even 8 minutes. 3 minutes. So there you go.
I watched 3
He
minutes
watched the
and 6
short
seconds of the game.
short
6 seconds.
video
Sorry,
replay.
folks. It was 3 minutes. Yeah.
But you know what? One image tells the story, and I'm not going to put up the image. I ain't got the image, so I didn't mean that to set up like I was about to put a photo of it. But the fact that they were streaming out of the London Stadium at half time in their thousands tells you how that first half went for them and how it went for you.
Very true. I was watching a show where they were saying that they were like looking at people crossing the bridge and the people standing outside, I guess in the smoking area, and they were trying to say, no, that was just people out there smoking. And then when you went back to the second half and you looked at the seats,
Not
seats tell a different story.
empty
But
seats. Empty
yes.
seats.
Maybe they're smoking like me.
Yeah,
and
Tony,
BX.
you get to talk now and you don't have to interrupt.
Maybe those fans were enjoying what me and BX like to smoke, and they lost their way back into the stadium. They didn't go home. They just got lost, Gary.
They got lost in their own stadium.
Can I show
But the
something
good
that I
point
did?
about this is that we don't start off with 40,000 in the stands like we used to. They're actually like a legit 50,000. I mean, you still got 10,000 empty seats when you start these games, but
Arsenal doesn't have that problem, do they?
yeah, there's still.
I went to a game and there was no empty seats. Not 10,000 of them, like you said.
You went to the North London derby. That's different, and you know it.
Came to for a London derby. Guess what? It would be full. Try again.
Is that a Brighton game? I'm just kidding. Sorry.
What?
And do you know who was in those 10,000 seats that would have been empty, Tom? That would be Spurs fans would have been in those seats. Because I heard plenty of stories
Spurs
about
fans being
Arsenal fans talking with Spurs
Yeah.
fans during the game, and that shouldn't happen if they're stuck in a little section of the crowd.
Yeah.
So Arsenal fans, stop selling their tickets to Spurs fans because Gary hates that team.
All right. So Spencer, talk to me about the game. I guess
Well,
go into more detail if you want.
I mean, the big thing is you found a way to get 6 goals. You know, Saka, Rice. We can go to the suspects, but I mean, I was okay with how the substitutions went because there came a point there. I was looking at that goal difference, and I was like, man, you put a real big peg in that thing today, and they kind of did. I mean, they're pretty level with Liverpool now, right? There's 1 goal difference between them, but of course,
What do you mean they're pretty? They're 1 goal. There's nothing much. There's not. You can't get any closer than 1.
not finished. But we have Man City. They have a game in hand. We're tied with them finally with goal difference. So we'll see what happens in their next game.
Yeah,
this could be something that
they're
comes down
ahead
to goal
because they've
difference.
scored more goals.
Right, that's my point. That's what I'm getting at here. There was a point there where we had a chance to potentially get more goals. And I like the fact that he kept on who he kept on to try to put a dent in that. And I think that's what he saw. He saw blood in the water. And I think we could have had 10, 11, 12 yesterday.
Yeah. Could have had 4 in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah. But that's good. The shots are finally going in. And so what that's I think what? Oh God, math. 14 goals in 3 games. That's really good. Keep going.
Yeah.
So but Nawiri got a good start. I mean, we can talk about the Jesus issue, but the players that actually can find a way to stay healthy are performing, and the others can't be relied on. So,
Very
unfortunate.
True. Very true. We'll say hello to Lonnie, Alonzo, Mr. Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
Hi to the show. For those who don't know, Spencer's got a new show, and you can see the name of the podcast right there. I know he'll do weekly shows. I'm not sure of the exact times, but check him out. Did a show after the game on Sunday. Check it out. I had a guest host. I'm watching the game, and they're just showing all the fans just walking out on both bridges. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's keep talking about all this fandom in England, right? All these fans in England stand behind their team, go down 4-0, and then they just leave their players. Just leave their players.
I think it says a lot to how entitled that club has become very quickly, because that sort of result would be part and parcel of being a West Ham fan before, let's say, 2020. Maybe not 6, but you know my point. It's
It
they
still
were
seems like they do
best,
that at least
for
once
fuck's
a
sake, it's the
season.
4th time he's done that.
You want me to mute him?
Nah, that's fine.
Dude, you're eating. You can't eat and talk. I don't want you choking on my show. So when you got food anywhere near you, you can't talk. All right. Continue, Mr. Tom. Go on.
That's fine. No,
Talk.
I forgot what the flow's gone. It's fine.
The flow's gone. He killed it. See what you did there, Tony?
I thought Tom was done talking, so.
You couldn't have thought he was done talking because you interrupted him.
Yeah,
You wanted him to be done. That's a different story. Big difference between you thought he was done, and I'm just going to end it for you right here, right now. But let's get into it. Arsenal once again scores from the air. 2 headers in the first three goals of the game for my center back. I'm glad we're able to piece together like goals on set pieces with goals from build up of play. So and the fact that the 2 center backs did that, plus also held, a part of a team that had a clean sheet. Very nice. What do you think about our center backs both scoring in a game? Saliba, has he scored a header on a set piece
Yeah, he scored
in a while?
earlier.
In a while. It's been a while though, right?
No, it's just I thought he just scored like 4 or 5 games ago.
I don't remember when he scored. But I enjoyed that. You think that was a sack? You think on Saka that was a penalty?
Yes. You don't think so?
I don't know. I was showing the replay, and it's like hard to see the contact.
He literally takes him out. You can literally see
No,
Ariel take him
from
out.
the other angle, it's not as clear as day. Like there was serious contact because you can see there is space between them. He might catch his feet, and that's why he goes down. But it isn't
Ariola
like
didn't
he
even
took him out.
protest it at all. The
Yeah.
goalkeeper didn't even
No, I'm
protest.
saying there was contact. You can't. It's not like boom, he rolled him over or anything like that.
We've seen softer given, so
True.
I'm not going to complain. I mean, we had one a couple weeks ago. Havertz got tripped up in the box,
True.
taken by McAllister. So
Mhm.
you take it, man. And put the penalty away. A little vindication from the last time we took a penalty there. So
Yeah. No, for
Football,
sure.
yeah.
These guys are talking about Mbappe. I don't know why.
yeah. Did you see the stat, Gary? That Trossard. I'm gonna get him on Trossard kick. Tom, here you go. I think it's a goal and assist every 96 minutes.
For Trossard, right?
Yeah, for if the appearances. For
Yeah, 99. I think every 99 minutes
96 or
he
99. one of the two.
contributes to a goal.
It's not the. I heard it was 99.
That's what I just said.
I said 96.
Yeah, he
I
was.
was wrong.
You were
Confirming
wrong.
you were right, Gary.
Oh, yeah. And you were wrong, Spencer.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Well, welcome to the amount of times I've been wrong today. Yeah. At least 10 times.
Wow.
Is there much to talk about with Mbappe?
I mean,
Any chance he's going anywhere but Madrid?
I think he could probably still stay at PSG.
You think that'd be good for his career?
Oh, I don't care about Mbappe's career.
No, but if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it.
Okay, so can Madrid? So what is he? What wage is he going to get a week? He's going to want $1 million a week. Are they going to pay him $52 million a year?
I think his best chance of that type of money is probably going to Italy.
I think staying at PSG gets that money.
Yeah, I just don't think he needs it. I understand he
Italy
wants
don't
it,
have money.
but I don't think he needs it. Like, doesn't he want like Champions League?
Yeah, probably. I think if
Like, he won't be considered one of the best in the world without it. He's won a World Cup. He's won all the French trophies he can win.
Yeah.
And one thing he hasn't won is a Champions League. He's never even had a chance to sniff.
I think
that
it
one.
depends on what his motivation factor is, right? He said he wants $60 million a week and a sign-on fee of $100. Who's going to pay him $60 million a week?
He means $60 million a year, right?
I
That's
hope
what
he
he meant.
means. I mean, that's who's going to pay that? I mean, can Madrid afford that? Maybe, I don't know. Like,
I'd be
They can't
surprised they
afford
can
that.
afford that. Can they?
If they could afford that, they wouldn't have pushed for the Super League.
I
Because
agree with
part of
Tom.
the reason they push for that is because they don't have the financial capital to keep up with Man City.
City's a possibility. If these 115 charges end up being, a little slap on the wrist, we're going to take 20 points from you and fine you $50 million. I don't know. Like that's a lot. 60 million. I mean,
I don't know. Like you said, if it's all about the money, then he just stays at PSG. But if it's about some sort of a legacy of being considered one of the best in the world, the only way you do that is maybe you go and play for one of the best in the world. And you don't have to make the most money in the world to get, the prestige of that.
and he doesn't have to move now either. Let's think about this too. He's what? How old is he?
What is he waiting around for? How long has he been out the door? Like the last 3 seasons, isn't it?
Let's see, how old is he?
at least the last 3 seasons has been like he's had an opportunity. I think he's re-signed a 2-year contract, right?
Mhm.
And so it's been at least 3 years since he's been like could have been out the door. I kind of feel like what, like you said, it was about the money. Then Madrid is out of the question because PSG will pay him. Maybe not.
I mean, if you think about it, he was born in '98, so he's what, 25, I think. My math is all jacked up. I'm too tired from the game last night. It's your fault, Tom.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. It's a lot of money. I don't think. Do you think he would ever come to the Premier League? Because I know Liverpool fans that think they could get him. I think that's insane, but I got a couple I know that think he would be perfect for Liverpool. And they allegedly
170 mil. What's the most a team has paid for a player in the Premier League?
Was it the
What do you
Enzo deal?
mean?
Like
What do you mean, wages wise?
in fees.
The top fee is
25.
Well, it's more than Rice. So, is it Lukaku or is it?
no, it's probably I
Enzo.
don't know. Grealish is 100, isn't he?
Yeah.
Rice is more than Grealish now, right?
Yeah, Rice is more than Grealish, but it's not the,
All right,
the number
so-
one.
I think it's Enzo.
No. The top fee is Coutinho. I'm sure
That's
of it.
going out, right? That's not coming in.
Going out, yeah. All right, whatever.
Yeah, no, it might be Enzo, but I don't remember Enzo being considered the number one. So I was wondering if it's more than that.
Well, Chelsea overpaid for him anyway.
They've spread it over 8 years, haven't they?
Yeah,
So,
he's a good player, but he's not worth, I think, what they.
Yeah,
He benefited
ain't
from a really
even
good
worth being there by
Enzo's
the end of that
110,
contract.
so
No,
yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if they move on.
We really want this person. Can we get him over 8 years? That's like what they do on fucking cars now. Instead of a 4-year payment, you pay 8 fucking years.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't know. It's
25. He's gonna move, man. He's gonna have to make a move if he wants to move. 25. That's the age he's at. I was thinking he was closer to 23. So my thought was like he could do 3 more years at PSG, make as much money as possible, then hit prime at 26 to 30 and get moving.
Yeah.
But
The reason why I don't think that's even an option. There's nothing PSG can do for him more, except for give him more money. That's it. Like they're not gonna. He's not winning the big trophies there. They're like, I mean, they're like the Spurs of. I said it. Yeah, they're like the Spurs of the Champions League. They're just not gonna win, right?
I mean, amazing. Like everybody thought when you put Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar together, it was going to work, right? But they were so unstructurally sound at the back that it didn't matter what they had up top. They were going to leak goals.
Yeah, but you're talking about Messi at that age and Neymar, who's been broken pretty much for years now, and obviously what happened. Neymar is out. Messi isn't going to play big time every game, right? So yeah, but yeah, no, I think it's crazy, but let's get back to the game. So we scored. What is it? We scored now. To close out that half, we scored. Well, in the last 7 minutes of the game, 2 minutes of extra time, scored 3 goals. 3 goals in
that
7
5-minute
minutes.
period in the end of the first half was crazy.
Yeah.
No idea what happened to West Ham's defence.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they were looking. Like the coach is like, all right, we'll figure this out at halftime, right? We're only down 1 right now. We get to halftime down 1. We'll be okay. Next thing you know, bang, 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 and bang. 3 goals later, you're down 4.
I pulled out our 6-shooters, Gary.
For sure. And then we finished. Then we started the second half pretty good as well. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about the way we closed out that half?
It was excellent. Dominating, good on the set pieces. It was kind of like we just put them to bed. Made them quit. In theory, even though I think they finished the game still trying to have a go at it. I think, but you definitely broke their spirits.
Last 6 to 8 weeks, we've really turned around the free kicks and corners because we were getting all these corners and we weren't scoring for them, and now the goals are going in the back of the net.
I think we only had 6 corners in this game. When we've had games, we've had 10.
Declan Rice.
Well,
taking a
I
corner.
mean, like every game was at least 9 for a while. We were getting.
Yeah, we were doing nothing with it. I think because, as you said, Rice wasn't kicking those balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's been the key. We changed that. We're doing a little bit more. I think. I think it's Rice. I think he's putting the header the corners are just a more quality taken from Declan Rice. I think that's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, his ball is coming in from a higher angle than Sackers and whoever else and Martinelli. Like they give a chance for somebody to actually get underneath it, as opposed to having to, defer it in. So, for sure. No, he's been pretty good. I like this Rice guy.
Yeah. Who would have thought for that price? I mean, he's been. I mean, I know people say there's no such thing as £100 million player, or whatever. He's been worth that and more. I think he's hit the ground running. We haven't seen any 23 games now. I mean, I can barely count on one hand the bad games he's had for us.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of those players too. When you watch him, I mean, to me, he's easily world class. But whether you agree with me or not, that's fine. But when he takes off with the ball and he makes those direct runs, it kind of makes you hold your breath there for a second, right? Because you're like, well, what's going to happen here? Because he's that exciting of a player. We're very fortunate to have him. What about West Ham? I'm going to make a comment here. See how Tom feels about this. West Ham's form has gone down since they got Calvin Phillips. How do you feel about
that? Well, he only played one game, didn't he?
He played it, I think, in the other one they
made
lost.
a mistake in the first minute.
Yep.
Then he started rating UK benches again, which is what he's been doing since 2022.
But you know what? He has a lot of cushion. His wallet, his back pockets are full, so he's not really feeling the bench as much as you say because he's got a little bit of a.
All right. I know a troll attempt when I see one.
Are you saying he likes his little Debbies?
No, I'm saying the man's got cash.
I was gonna say he likes
his back pocket,
done well for himself. But I personally think, I could be wrong, and for his sake, I hope I'm proven wrong, but I think it is quite obvious that Marcelo Bielsa wrung every bit of talent out of him, pushed him to his maximum ability, and no one else is going to have that ability to get that out of him. And I think that's going to be shown.
Why?
Personally.
Why can only Bielsa get it out of him, but nobody else?
Because he's the only one that has.
No, but why? Not like because he has.
I don't know why.
Okay, that's I know what we see, but I want to know why we see that.
I think it's because ultimately he is a bang average footballer. That one human being got the absolute maximum ability out of. And then he regressed to what his average is.
I hear that.
I could well be wrong. Not for his sake, I hope I am.
Well, I think
But
that City deal, I think, tainted him to some degree.
Yeah, but you can't blame him for not for
No, no, I'm
wanting
not.
to
You can't
go
blame
to
him,
the
but
best
it's
team
not
in the
like
world.
it's basically like, as far as it seems, has killed his career. He might be richer
There's-
for it, but that's the same thing we just talked about with Mbappe. He might be rich where he is, but his football career basically is stymied. Is not going to get better. It's going to get worse as you get older as well.
Well, I suppose there's levels to it, though, isn't there? As you say, like Mbappe is going to get judged. Mbappe will be judged against the likes of Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, whereas Calvin Phillips isn't in a position where you're going to be comparing him to those guys.
No, for sure. No, but
Like, at
there's more.
best, he's going to get compared to Declan Rice.
There's more players at his level. There's more players at his level, and that could be compared to him than there is at the Messi, Ronaldo level. Right? Like right now, who's at that Messi, Ronaldo level?
I don't see.
Is there more than a handful? Is there even a handful?
I suppose eventually you're going to get Salah put against them. He'll lose, but they'll put him against them.
You think but I mean, like, but I mean, he's at the age now where he would be considered in that discussion, but he isn't, right?
I think he's more on the periphery of that discussion. Like, he crops up in this discussion with other people when they say, who would you have in that discussion?
Yeah.
And they all say the same thing. He'll be in it, but he's no chance of winning it.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because like right now it would be like Haaland, Mbappe, if he somehow figures out a new way to change his career to some degree in terms of like
Haaland's not in it yet.
competing for Champions Leagues, huh?
Haaland's not in that discussion yet.
I said going forward from here, like there'll be candidates. Let's just say they call them
He will be.
candidates, or right. But like right now, like you said, Salah is maybe one of the top, and Kevin De Bruyne would be in there, right? Some may even say Van Dijk. You know, the Allisons and the
No.
goalkeepers can't be in that discussion as the best. And I know they can't be because they don't score. But if we're talking
No,
about
not because of that. Because
what is
Patrick
it?
Bamford went past him.
Okay,
Well, Patrick Bamford outsmarted him rather.
So that's almost like saying somebody stopped a shot from Ronaldo and Messi once. Yeah, it happens.
Nah.
Lightning strikes
Nah.
just once in those type of situations. It doesn't happen again.
We see the way Bamford gets talked about. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be perfect. You don't even have to be perfect against him.
Yeah.
Can we play a quick game with our three Gabbies and Saka?
What nonsense do you have for us to do now?
Just the total goals of all four.
What?
Guess.
No, I don't want to guess. I think, what is it? It's probably like, what? Who are the players again?
Martinelli, Jesus, Mega Legs, Saka.
I don't know. What does that have to do with this discussion?
That has nothing to do with this
Okay,
discussion.
just making sure you.
What did your discussion have to do with the Arsenal game yesterday?
Hey, let's just talk about something totally different. What is the point of it? What, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say 30. What's the point of that? Is that what Harlan has? No.
No, I'm doing their career here, Gary.
Oh,
Their
career? I don't know,
career.
dude.
Whole Arsenal career.
I know Saki just hit 50 in his career, so that's probably the most of more than Martinelli for sure.
They're giving him transfer market gave Saka 30, Martinelli 40, Jesus 19, Magalegs 15.
You said Saka's got what?
30 goals.
And you said Martinelli's got more?
Yeah, he's got 40.
I thought Saka just has 50 in 200 games or whatever he's played. I don't know. I don't know where we're going with that discussion.
Argue a transfer market, Gary.
They win. They win. They win.
But Martinelli has 40.
I hear that. Yes, and I know people were talking about maybe Saka maybe having a hat trick in the game, and he could have had a hat trick probably in the first half because he had opportunities.
He could have had 2 hat tricks if he wanted to, Gary.
Yeah. I mean, he just took a shot at the 58th minute there, and it's right at the goalkeeper, but I think he had no choice. He's trying to kick past defenders all over the place. So, but he had chances for sure.
That wasn't my main thing I love doing, and from FIFA, probably from 05 to 08, when you could still score a lot of goals, was get a hat trick with 3 different players, so you get a hat trick of hat tricks.
True. Well, we had when we had I think it was 4 players with at least 2 goal contributions.
Have you ever done that, Tom?
Sorry, have I done what? Sorry, I was zoned out.
Got a hat trick with 3 different players in FIFA?
I've not played FIFA in a long time. But I probably have, but not. No, I'm sure I would have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I play it on easy difficulty when I did play it.
Yeah. As Beaks kind of says,
No,
the Messi.
But I like to win.
Yeah, the Messi Ronaldo era is over. There's new stars, but as I think none at that level. All right, Salah might be at the
Sorry, it was rude of me. Sorry.
What did you say?
I was asking Tony who got the ball when he did it. I thought it happened recently. I thought that's why he was bringing it up.
No.
He was just bringing up nonsense, and he says he did this. That was on purpose, according to the way his mind works.
See. Okay then.
Yeah, I don't know. I also he was well within his rights to show up the crowd when he scored that goal, Rice, because the way they were booing him from the get-go every time he touched the ball. I mean, that's one way to shut him up, but his team had already done that long before.
That's what I asked Tom earlier. How many games against your former team until you can actually celebrate properly?
I know it was being discussed in the chat. There is an odd culture around it. About how it's perceived. There's an expectation that you don't. And then when you don't, it's like, oh, he's classy. It's like, no, because he knows if he doesn't, he's going to get bollocked all week.
It doesn't matter what they do. They're a piss off one side. So.
I find it really dumb, to be fair, especially when they get rid of you. They didn't want you. Move on. Declan Rice's situation is completely different, right?
What's the difference?
They weren't going to be able to keep him. They were going to lose.
No, they could have just kept him.
They would have lost They would have lost everything, so they had to move on.
So they didn't want him.
It's
either one or the other. It can't be no, it's good for both of us.
All right. Well, now you puts me on to it's dumb. So I mean, does it make the fans feel good that the guy went and he just it's my American ass. I don't get it.
Did you pay attention to what Leicester did? They didn't sell any of those guys, just so they could go. What position are they still top of the table, Tom?
Well, you have to build on it. You can't just keep the same players and expect nothing to change, right? So I might have
what Stefan says is right.
Yeah,
because obviously football's different now because most of the income is through television revenue.
Mhm.
which in turn is paid for by subscriptions, supposedly. And that filters through to the agents and the players. But generally, there was a time, obviously, where fan income was what actually put clothes on people's backs. So it was like these people, this group of people in this stadium facilitated your development as a footballer to some degree, and then you're basically sticking your fingers up at them when you score. That's partly why that culture is what it is.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a it's one of those unwritten rule type things, right?
Mm.
So you don't do this thing, right? So
Yep.
But the fans will boo you every time you touch the ball, and then expect you to respect them
Yep.
as well. That's
I
what
mean,
because what you're saying. You're saying the player has to respect them, but then the fans can boo him the entire game when he's just playing some football, and it's not disrespectful. It's just fans being fans.
Yep, they can't have it both ways, can they, Gary?
I hear Mr. Tom, talk to me. Tell me, why is it okay for the fans to do what they don't want their players to do? Former players,
Because
nonetheless.
people are stupid, Gary. Clearly. Like, what do
Tom's
you want me
most
to say?
honest answer ever.
Yeah. Yep. Just 1 second. You guys
That's
continue
good.
talking.
Like, what
do
am I
think
meant to say to that?
But going back to Mbappe, do you think there's any chance he just goes to Saudi for 3 or 4 years and
No.
makes a fortune?
Does he just stay at PSG and make a fortune?
I think there comes a point where, like, you're just stacking money on top of money. And I mean, obviously, I'm not in that situation, but I get the feeling there comes a point where the money is literally, it's just numbers on a sheet at some point.
Well,
And
that's
other
like
than that,
those NBA guys. They don't give a fuck about their salary because they're usually making twice as much on sponsorships.
other than that, though,
Or you can be like
Good luck to
Westbrook. There's a Westbrook and making 50 million and still probably getting 40
I think he'll be
million
very
in
unlikely
adverts.
to leave there, though, simply because he's created. No one else is going to give him the degree of control that PSG have given him. As much as he can piss and fart and moan about, "Oh, I've not won, we ain't won the Champions League again," he still continually commits to these deals because they always give him a little bit more power, which is really stupid, but they do.
Eventually, they'll end up giving him 10% ownership in the club or something stupid like that, just to keep him. It'll happen.
It would be wrong of him to not continue to test this. Their desperation to keep him, let's just say.
I mean, he's probably already built generational wealth, but at the point now where he could just, I mean,
It won't be about the money, it'll be about what he can get.
power. Yeah,
The
he's not going to
point
get
of
that power at
money,
Real Madrid. He's got a chance to write a name at PSG, right?
He's
And
not. What name is he? Sorry to interrupt. What name is he writing?
his own.
No, but like all he's doing is putting his name on there as the highest paid player ever.
But if he ends
But-
up winning something there,
Do you see? You've been watching football since you've been watching football, and everybody here has been watching football. What part of the way PSG does their business does it look like they have a chance of winning a Champions League?
we weren't saying it was going to be successful, Gary. We're saying it
No,
from
but
the
that's the only thing that matters for his legacy in my eyes.
But he may
if
not
it
care
mattered,
about the
he'd
legacy.
already be gone from there. His
Yeah.
legacy.
That's what I'm saying.
He'd
So I
already
don't
be
know
in a
what.
white shirt.
So staying for legacy to me isn't why he's going to stay.
I mean, he's already a
No.
World Cup winner.
Yeah,
Like I said,
he
but
won
he's
the
not
World Cup
he
as a
doesn't have a
teenager,
Champions
didn't he?
League, huh?
Yeah, he won the World Cup as a teenager.
Yeah.
So he's already tasted that. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but
and then he scored the hat trick in the final. Could be
yeah,
wrong.
well,
Yeah,
I'm
most
just saying
recent one.
he's no like I'm saying he's no. We just talked about it. He's no Messi, and if he stays put, he'll have no. He won't be part of that conversation. He'll just be like Salah. You know, when
Yeah,
we
but
talk about the best, we'll talk about him, but like they're not. He's not at that level, right?
yeah, but PSG has no history. They started about the same time Chelsea, wasn't it, Tom, when they started spending the money? When they
Yeah.
got the dirty oil money.
I got to agree with Tom. If it was about legacy, he would have rolled by now. I really have to agree with him on that. Because he would have gone and gotten his Champions League out of the way, won 2 or 3 of them with Madrid or whatever, and then he could go back to PSG and just make $86 million a year or whatever it's going to be.
No, I hear that. I just, like I said, I like staying for the money is one thing, but staying for the money and not improving, helping the team get better, because taking more money out of the club isn't helping them get better.
But him taking more money, is he really taking more money, or is it they already have a limited amount of money anyway based on who they are?
But you're saying he's getting a raise, right? We're saying he's getting a raise.
Yeah, but the Qataris have money.
You think they're going to spend more money on players close to his level that can help him?
Probably not. But I mean, that's the thing about PSG, right? Like Madrid can sell the name on its own, right? Like with PSG, you're gonna pay for a premium to get someone in there, and they could win the Champions League. They just have to have the right draw. But they also have fundamental issues. So, I mean, they're a paper tiger. That's what we've always called them, right? Yeah, 170
So can we have a definitive decision on this? Because we've spent most of this hour talking about Mbappe.
I think he stays at PSG.
As Madrid finally moved into the renovated stadium, or they got another year?
I actually have no idea, Tony.
Somebody in the audience put it in there.
I still don't think it's out of the realm of possibility Mbappe could end up at a Premier League team like Manchester City either.
Apparently, it was expected to be completed by the end of 23, but obviously COVID has changed that, so probably the end of this season. Other than that, though, no idea.
So Mbappe to fill the new stadium.
So
that's the conclusion, Tom. So we can end our boring discussion of Mbappe.
If he stays at PSG as well as no other club will bow down to his demands. This is why I think he's just a money. He just wants to stack up money and power. Because, as I said 5 minutes ago, if he really wanted to forge a legacy in football, he'd already be in a white shirt.
But he could also be kind of like, say a name here, kind of like Gareth Bale, where he cares a lot about the French team, you know, or he cares about the Welsh team or whatever. And that's, to me, for him, that may be more of an important legacy than going and winning a club competition. So we don't know what motivates people, right? Like, and I do think like sports in general. So whether it's soccer, basketball, football, American football, whatever, we always try to compare generations against generations. And to me, Messi and Ronaldo will have their own peg within history. Haaland, Mbappe, and whoever the next Kane, maybe, or you could probably argue Kane's in that Messi, Ronaldo age bracket in theory because he's almost 30, but it's hard, right?
Nowhere near.
They're not all playing the same competition, right? I mean, the German league's different than the French league, than the English league is different from the Spanish league. So not all things are equal. So
he pulled out of a deal with Madrid at the last minute to sign with PSG.
Yeah. And you don't know if we don't know how they hold him accountable at PSG too. We don't know how much he truly practices at PSG. If he goes to Madrid, Ancelotti's going to have his way to manage him, right? Like, we don't know what kind of diva this guy is. So
But if you wanted to just to cement itself, he would just put in a lot of. You wouldn't have to put in that much effort. Just go, just show up for the French team because they have about 50 fucking good defenders that are 24 and under.
Hello, Brownie. Welcome to the Mbappe podcast.
I don't know how we got stuck on Mbappe. I tried to derail it twice and I was unsuccessful.
you need to try
it's
harder,
done.
Tony. Move on. Figure something else to talk about.
So how did it go? Right. Let's start again. Tony, where does Arsenal go from here?
From here,
Yes.
yeah, hopefully they try to build on their momentum. The biggest thing me and Spencer are about is that you can't bring Jesus back into the team when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not a coincidence. All last year we scored 2-3 goals. And suddenly we started scoring 5-6 goals every game. Now we're doing the same again. There's one consistency there. It's no Jesus and Trossard in the lineup. Because he unlocks the offense. It's proven. But you know what's happened? First day that Gabriel's fit enough in Arteta's eyes, Trossard goes back to the bench and the team goes the opposite direction they need to go. Because Arteta's a fucking very stubborn man. Government mule, Arteta.
I don't think he's that stubborn, Tony. I think he's changed the tactics in the last 2 games and found ways to get wins out of it. I mean, he didn't play any inversion last week against Liverpool, played a double pivot, and then goes to West Ham, plays an inverted right back this time, keeps Kivior wide, plays Odegaard further back, and we put 6 against West Ham. We can argue about the selection of players, but
There are lots of injuries stacking
That's a
up.
good question.
do you think we okay? But yes, to an extent, yes.
I
So
still say we would have won the title last year if he never came back.
Now, I think last year was down to Saliba, but I Stan, I think so. To me,
You couldn't went to 3 center backs with Saliba out. You couldn't went with your new signing that you went out and bought. You go with Rob Holding. That's a 3rd tier British player. Really, he should have never been in the Premier League.
so I think if you want to talk about who the striker should be on this team, I think you should be looking at Trossard and Havertz. And I'm gonna say something controversial. You're not gonna like it, Tony. I know you're gonna say it. Kai Havertz has been very important in what Arsenal has done this year. You can argue about the price tag all you want, but he's been available at every single game. And guys, the 8 position would be in trouble right now without him. Think about it. Vieira can't stay healthy. ESR can't stay healthy. Jesus can't stay healthy.
Do you think you overly defend Havertz because
Yeah, I
of
do.
the people that overly attack him?
Yeah, I do, because I think the people that overly attack him, and I'm not talking about you, Tony. Please don't. I'm not talking about you when I say this. I think
know
some
who
people.
you are talking about.
Well, there's individuals that it's like a talking point. It's like, you ever see the SpongeBob meme where he opens the case? Old reliable. That's the talking point. Was he a luxury player? Yes, but he's a guy that's available. And right now, the biggest thing, if you're going to win a title race, you have to have 15 players that are available every single week. And what do we have an issue right now? Thomas Partey can't stay healthy. ESR can't stay healthy. Jesus hurts his knee every 10 seconds. Probably slipped out of the shower this time. Tommy
dropped the soap. He dropped the soap.
Tommy Asu's getting injured. And then you got Zinchenko. I mean, he can't stay healthy. We bought some broken players. And I mean, granted, Timber coming back. But Havertz has been such a versatile player. We could play him with 8, we could play him with the 9, we could play him with the 10. I do overly defend him. I get it, but I also see something there that
But to
maybe
me,
other
for
people
2
don't
weeks
see.
in
I
a
don't know.
row, you had Smith Rowe was out there, Jorginho were out there.
Mhm.
At the time, they had looked better than Kai in that role.
I like the double pivot with Jorginho and Rice. I just don't think you can do it every game. I don't think Jorginho can go out there and play 38 games for you.
I don't understand that position because in that way you basically have 6 defenders. Why not just do the back 3 and have your attacking fullbacks like he wants anyway? That makes more sense. Double pivot makes 0 sense to me.
I mean, the thing also that I think Havertz gives you is height in the box, right? I mean,
It's just so weird it took this long to finally start scoring from the corners and the free kick.
I think it's the Declan Rice effect, right? I think Declan Rice just delivers a better quality ball in the box. I think it's that simple. I think for a long and here's the thing too about it's kind of dangerous also to have not Kai, but to have Declan taking your corners based on the position he plays. He plays a 6 role, so he immediately has to fall back into a position that makes you potentially vulnerable for counterattacks. So there is that risk reward with that, and we're seeing a lot of rewards right now. But the Timber
You could say
injury.
that with you could say that too with Gabriel. He's scored 15 goals now. So.
He's a ball hawk in the box, and I think we have 16 set piece goals this year so far, which I think is 5 more than the second place team. If people correct me if they know the stat properly, but man, we talk about Arsenal go against a lot of low blocks, and it's not. Those are the teams I think we've struggled the most against. The teams that play us mano a mano, like the Liverpools, the Cities, the United, we seem to do pretty decent against them, right? Because we're able to get to space. And, when you play a team with low block, the space really isn't there. And, yeah, I mean, Jesus is definitely, his injury record is a problem. I think we started talking about it last night, Tom. Maybe it was me, you, and Sam. They may be looking at 2 strikers in the summer. You may have to move on from Jesus. You're definitely moving on from Eddie. But Trossard's an answer at the center forward position. Havertz is an answer right there. So
can I ask Gary the question that I asked Tony and sort of then use all spun off into? Gary?
Yes, sir.
Where does Arsenal go from here?
From here?
Take that question however you interpret it.
I think we need to improve our starting 11. And right now, the starting 11, for me, there's a couple of places where we can do it. 1, everybody's going to say is striker. 2, we're going to say we might probably need a midfielder, somebody in that 8 spot, that is legitimate. I think that's where we need to go from here. I think we have maybe some candidates, but, Trossard, I guess, was supposed to be an answer. I don't know if he's going to be that answer quick enough for us. He should have been an easy answer right now, and that's not true. So I kind of feel like we need to improve. Like I was listening to Tom Kenton. He always said, you know what? The reason why he doesn't want Tony is because Tony he doesn't feel is a improvement on Jesus. It's not a clear improvement in the sense that it should be it's pretty clear Rice is a starter for us, right? For me, for me, it was pretty clear to some degree that Timber can start for us and push people to the bench. Tony gives us something that Jesus doesn't, but Jesus gives us something that in Arteta's eyes, he's lacking, that we're lacking elsewhere, right? So I think Arteta would be would be hard pressed to make a Tony remove and push Jesus to the bench. That's kind of what I think. It should be an easy move to push Jesus out wide to get him to start if that's what you want. But I think Arteta is the
I
problem
still
there.
want to start him with you just give him back up to Martinelli and Saka is what you do with Jesus. Because I don't think Jesus
Yeah,
is good
you're
enough.
just talking about Trossard, but Trossard's in the same boat. He can start for us, but you don't want him to push anybody to the bench. That's why the person that comes in, it has to be clear, right? That's why Rice is an easy answer. Raya was not an easy answer. Raya was just another question, right? So we need like good answers coming in. Like here's our new number 8. Here's our striker that we don't have. A lot of people are saying you put Osimhen in the Arteta team. Well, he'll have a lot of fun. It's a lot of money, but they said he'll have a lot of fun. He's young, so he's got the age profile that you want for a team that's in a rise. He should push people to the bench, but is Arteta going to do that? Right? Like you just spent 100 on Rice, you spent 100 on Osimhen, then he starts, right? And he is a legitimate player, but people are saying don't look at the AFCON because the AFCON pretty much is they don't play the same football that they play at Napoli. So, So yeah, that's my answer. I know it's a bit long-winded, but I feel like we need to improve the squad, and the 11 would be the best way to go, because that pushes your quality down as opposed to out the door. Right? The reason why Xhaka left, one is probably also because he knew he wasn't going to start eventually. But we need to be pushing players down the pecking order than just replacing them in the middle of the pack. So yeah.
Well, at 32 years old, he signed a pretty good contract. So
What?
said he signed a pretty good contract as he's 32 years old to leave. So
Who's 32?
Zaka.
Yeah.
Whatever he's getting, he earned it, right? Because they're doing quite well.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, I think it kind of sucks that they spent 7 years to figure out where he should be, and then when they finally get him there, they have a successful season with him, and then it's easy for him to walk out the door. I don't think it should have been that easy. Should have been tough because I don't know how you guys feel. Like if Xhaka was playing in this team and they spent that Havertz money elsewhere, like Kudus and all these other players, Diaby, all these players that we see out there that are coming off the bench for their teams.
But to me, the answer was always Zinchenko.
No, but we got that. That's what Timber is.
Zinchenko's not left, so that said Zinchenko should be playing where Granite was.
Problem with Zinchenko is he doesn't have that height and physicality size. He would get bullied around in the midfield.
Well, you thinking where he's going to play?
Yeah, but
where he's going to play in the midfield, and he is tinier than everybody you just mentioned.
I'll make an argument that if you play traditional left back, no inversion, just playing left back, he would do just fine.
You know what? We just saw him do that, and he didn't even last the whole game.
It was called rotation, though, Gary.
That wasn't rotation. That was a man getting injured playing the position he was supposed to play the whole time he's been with us.
Then he got injured.
He lasted 45 minutes playing in the role that we all think that position should play. I don't know. I think that's a sign.
Well, he just can't stay healthy.
Can I correct Brownie there? Zaka was 2016, not 2018.
Not 2017.
I don't think he was good until the last year. So what was that? 2022? Like for Arsenal?
My biggest beef with him was his discipline.
No, he's just saying that he was
such a hothead.
He was out of date at 2018. He was out of date at 2016 when he came in.
Yeah, I don't know about he. You know what? He was kind of that energy that you needed though, because we always talk about it. Who's gonna be that fiery guy? He was that guy.
We didn't need guys getting their hands on.
He didn't need that.
I think the yellow cards and stuff that he got were because he was out of position.
Gabrielle's always talking to official.
Yeah.
He's the one that goes in when teammates get attacked and stuff. So your big Brazilian shit house.
True. True. Yeah, I mean that was the other thing, availability. I mean, if you got, yeah. Yeah, but you know what? That's the thing. Arsenal wasted 7 years then, 7 years. Got one good year out of it.
I think he played his part in that BX, to be fair. You can't do what he did to a group of fans and expect them to back you.
I didn't do any of the things that he said the fans did to him, but I didn't feel like I deserved to get a finger stuck at and an armband thrown on the ground. But I didn't do any of those things that people that I didn't call up his family and talk about his kid and all this stuff.
But nobody
He
called
never
up his
apologized to those fans.
bills.
So
There's
I don't have from that's kind of where I go with this thing is I think he
Spencer and BX are on Instagram. Do you know what they have on Instagram? They
I'm
have
not
a
on
fucking private button. Hit private.
I'm not
I'm
on
gonna post
Instagram
kids of
anymore.
all the kids.
Yeah,
Hit
but-
private. It isn't that
What's the
hard.
private button do?
Makes it where every fucker in the world can't comment on your photo.
No, I'm not saying he can't do that, but I'm just saying like he did that because he said it, the buildup of all of that and then them booing. I personally, he was milking it when he walked off that pitch that day. He should have just ran off like a captain's supposed to do because he knew the reason why he's being subbed out at that point in the game is because we're trying to figure out a way to score. If I recall.
It was like the 57th minute of a game, and that's where the issue came up.
Whatever it was,
wasn't
he
10
was
minutes
milking the
left or
time
whatever.
walking off the pitch.
I know, but that's why it was so much more because you have 30 minutes left in a fucking game,
Tony's
and this guy want to get off the
Tony's
fucking pitch.
private buttons have nothing to do with Instagram. Called paid services, right, Tony?
What?
Yeah, paid services. Yeah, you know what I mean.
But again, I do think
See, Stans. I mean, this is the problem. We needed to bring in a player that was legit, right? Did he just run off? Did I just scare you off?
no, you're good.
Like I said, it's got to be, these changes should be
Yeah.
easy changes. Like it shouldn't be like, you don't have to question. We all questioned Havertz before he even got here because we knew he hadn't shown anything in the last 3 years. Why is he going to all of a sudden show it? Right? Timber, up and coming youngster. Yes. Rice, just been doing it for years. Yes. Easy. All right. Kirior, no.
I still
there
think you're. I
Project.
think you're still clicking that timber button too early.
I saw this. If Tierney, what I saw from Tierney the first time I saw him, if he could stay healthy, we'll be fine. If Timber has an injury problem and he's not available,
Mhm.
he'll have the same issue as him. But what we saw in that preseason, in that first game, that's what we're looking for.
But what are you sitting for? 50 minutes in a
It doesn't matter.
competitive-
You know when you see it. You know what it's supposed to look like. We saw Jesus come on at halftime in a preseason match, and we knew that was what we wanted, something like that, right? I think we all were sitting there going, "Yep, that's why we spent that money on him." Didn't need to see him play for the whole season.
A little bit of difference, Gary.
No, it's no different. It's the same thing.
It's no different. The guy that had won 4 titles at City than Timber that nobody knows anything about.
But he answered. He filled a hole, Tony. A defensive left fullback who can also play in the right. Can play in center back if you need him.
Where's he been all season, Gary?
Yes, that's the same thing with Partey. Partey, we knew what we would get. We knew if Partey, you didn't say, okay, Partey's going to be injured, so this isn't going to work, right? But you knew about Partey was the answer to your problems, right? We knew that.
Partey's been injured the entire time,
But
Gary.
Partey was the answer to a question, right? We needed
apparently he's not,
we needed a box-to-box midfielder. What was Partey?
It was definitely not an answer to the question.
He's a
'cause he can't
box-to-box
stay healthy.
midfielder, which is the answer. His availability, did we know that going in? No.
We didn't.
He
You
didn't
can't
end
plan.
up
No,
answering the
nobody can
question.
plan those things. All right? You can't plan for that injury. Timber, that injury? No, you can't. Nobody. You can't go. Oh, I should have known he's going to get injured in the first half of a match, right?
But you seen that with our shitty Greek players. Oh, they go back and play center back. Oh, he's a world stopper. Then you see him the next season, and he's in the second division in Germany because he's a shit player. You don't know until you see him throughout a
There's
30
Do
game
you think
season.
Partey and Timber aren't going to be good? Weren't going to be good. Like Partey's not a good player for the Premier League. And Timber, from what you've seen of him, does he not look like a player that could work out
The
in the Premier League?
Premier League's a physical league, and guess what? If you have injuries,
That's not, I didn't ask you that question. From what you saw
you,
from Partey, does he look like a good candidate for a Premier League fullback?
that's a weird question. Premier League. The answer is no. Physical league. Tamiaso, no. Kearney,
Amiatsu's
no.
about to get signed a new contract, so the answer to Arsenal's question is yes.
It's
Well,
no, Gary.
You guys complain about Havertz, but he's been available every single game. He's done it in the Premier League for 4 straight years.
He has not done anything for 3 years in the Premier League.
He's been playing.
He hasn't done anything in the Premier League.
I think you're
Like
wrong.
Partey's done more in the 3 years that we've seen him, which has only been
Havertz-
1.5 when you add up
Havertz-
all the time
Gary,
he's
he's
played.
our new Granite
He's done
Xhaka.
more. He's done more than Havertz has.
Havertz
he's
has
our new
playing in the Premier League.
Havertz has one more thing that Thomas Partey doesn't have in the Premier League since he's been here. He's got a Champions League trophy and scored the game winner. Thomas Partey doesn't have that. Arsenal doesn't have that. We've got that guy on our team now. He's available every single week.
But he's not
Not
giving us anywhere
injured.
near. Okay, but he's not giving us anywhere near whatever that is you're
I
talking
think you're
about.
wrong. I think you're absolutely wrong on
We
this
haven't
one.
got.
What
We
do
have
you
not
expect
got
from
a.
him, though?
We have
Be
not
honest.
got a.
What do
We
you
have not got a
expect from him?
Champions League player who can hit the final ball right now. We don't have
What do
that
you-
guy.
What do you expect from
not
Havertz?
on our
Be
team.
real,
He's
because
not on our team, Spencer. Where is he? I don't see that guy.
Ding, ding.
I absolutely see that guy. He scored goals for the series, had assists. He sets up plays. He wins battles in the midfield. He does what a box-to-box midfielder is supposed to do. And then he can play striker for you also. You beat City twice with Havertz on your team in the striker position as well. We beat Liverpool with Havertz in the striker position as well. We hadn't beat Liverpool in so long. We've come into this year. Havertz has been in our team 3 times. And the teams we've been chasing, Liverpool and Man City, he's been on the field the times we beat them.
You think it's because of Havertz, or you think it's because the other time?
Well, I think he helps out. We're talking about availability and stuff right here, right?
No, but availability is not. I've been saying availability is something, yes, but he doesn't have the talent. He's not as talented as the rest of the players on the pitch.
I disagree with that. I 100%.
Who is he
disagree with
better?
that.
Who talented better than in our starting 11 outside of Raya, right? Who is Havertz better than?
Well, he's not going to be better than Saliba because he's not a defender.
I'm just saying. You go tell me which player.
Do you think he's okay? So the player he replaced, in theory, do you think he's better than Granit Xhaka?
Not right now.
I can tell you what player.
If he was better and he was having a bad day, he would be equaling Xhaka's numbers. I don't think he's given us that yet. Because he hasn't found a spot. We've actually had to move him to striker because it's better for him.
Can we play the really fast grocery store game? What aisle is Havertz at?
Havertz can play.
He's in the ice cream section. He's in the fucking vanilla section right next to Granit Xhaka. They're average, but let's move on.
You're wrong,
Tom, where's your chips?
You're absolutely wrong on that one. Because hold on here. He can play the 8 for you. He can play the striker for you. He can play the 10 for you. You are 2 points out of first place in the title race. We're more solid in the midfield this year, and that's also due to Declan Rice.
No,
But-
that also no. It's because of Declan Rice. Let's not even kid ourselves
Oh,
that
no,
Havertz
he's-
is the reason why we're
We've
much
been
better.
saying all year that the
No,
midfield's
Rice is the
broken.
reason why we're better in the midfield. Come on, stop kidding yourself and
We've
trying
been
to give
bitching
Havertz a
about
little
the
bit of
midfield all
We've been
season.
saying
credit here.
we've been saying the midfield's broken. I just don't see where the midfield's broken. I just respectfully disagree on that.
Everybody said it all
That's
season.
Sport BX.
Yes, absolutely. That is BX is spot on. You got everybody gets caught up on what the goals and assists are, and there's so much more in the game than that.
We
It's
didn't
your
bring him in
passes.
for all. We did. This is the same crap that we did the last time. You got me cursing in my own at my own level. This is the same thing we said about
John Jensen.
Lacazette. He works so hard. The man will play defensive and
Lacazette
he'll
was
play
a
up front,
striker.
but
He's
he won't
expected to
score
score
goals
goals.
for me. We didn't bring Harris in not to score goals. I'm
No
telling you that.
chance. El
We
Nenny's a
scored
solid
goals for
7
you.
every time.
Guess what Lacazette did do? First 3 games, 3 goals. Arteta says go to the bench.
And I said coming into this season, Havertz to quiet the noise will have to have like a performance and a presence like Jesus did because
He
it's
had a
going to
game. He
get
had a
loud.
game winner against Redford, right?
Nah, absolutely not.
He did not come in and come in and blazing like Jesus did last for us when he joined. So now he didn't.
Mm.
You're gonna name like
I
one
don't-
out of every 5 things he's done, right? I'm telling you, he's not. It's 60. He's not worth the 65 mil and for what he was trying to replace,
If you
right?
win a trophy this year, you won't care about the price tag.
We're talking
Yeah.
about right now. Tomorrow is another day, right? Let's talk about right
Yeah.
now. You could talk about a future that you don't even know is coming,
That's true.
right? But right now, you can't. You can't. You want we talk about all,
has the left
this
side
is
of
if Saka and Martinelli and Erdegaard get back into the form they had last
Can we-
season and run away
can we
with it,
do
it won't matter who's there with them. It won't matter if Havertz there with
can,
them.
can we do
BX
something
is
real
right.
quick? Has the left side of our team been a problem this
No, it
season?
has not
Yes,
been.
it
I don't
has.
know what are you watching, Tony? What are you watching?
It's been a
We are
problem.
2 points out of first place. We have beat City. We haven't beaten City in 5 years. We beat them twice this year. Yeah, one was a
Oh, so we
Community
have beaten them
Shield.
in 5 years because we beat them in a
No.
cup match. We did.
This is just some
Yeah.
weird
Did.
culture battle.
2019.
We beat them in
2019.
a
Yeah.
cup game. That's when we won the FA Cup. We beat them then. So
Yeah,
if you're gonna call, if you're gonna go Community Shield, we've already beat them in an FA Cup match, I believe.
Stan
So
is 100% right with this comment right here.
Mhm.
If it was 40 million,
yeah,
none
because
of
you
you
know
guys
what?
would
If we
care.
only spent that much on him, we wouldn't expect him to have to start every game.
When you
That's
got
what that's the thing there, right? We wouldn't expect that he came in at 65, and when you pay that much money for a player, he should be an answer. He shouldn't even be a question, and he was a question from day one.
I don't think he's been a question. I don't think
He is not. He is not the answer to the question. How are we going to replace
short,
Xhaka?
when you're 2 strikers short, you don't go by Kai. You just don't.
You just
But-
you just praised him for his midfield play, and then in the same breath, he's a striker as well. He
Yeah.
can't do both. We need
can do
one.
both.
We need one really good player at each of those positions. We don't need somebody who can do both. Kind of all right.
But that's been Arteta's thing lately. It's like he went and got rid of 2 players that were good at being utility players. Now that's the only things he's signing as utility players. He's just not signing an out and out left back or an out and out right back or an out and out striker.
BX is spot on with this comment. Declan Rice isn't the only one running the midfield. Without Havertz, our midfield would be dead and we'd be in 7th or 8th. It's facts.
It's not. It's his opinion. But okay.
I have. You're telling me that Havertz would be able to control that midfield if you take Rice out of there, and I'm telling you, I don't. I think Rice does not miss Havertz as much as Havertz would miss Rice.
No, because you control a midfield with the 6th position more than you do with an 8, in my opinion.
I'm just telling you, he doesn't
play the top
dominate
of the
enough that we would not miss. We would not miss a degrade in the quality of that player at that
You
position.
could argue that we haven't missed Granit Xhaka. We're still in the title race.
Yeah. And I'm saying it's not because of Havertz. You're saying it is.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying Havertz has been important to what we're doing this year, and we're not in this title race without him. We're not. The too many injuries we've had on this team. Thomas Partey's out. ESR's out. Vieira's out. All these other players that aren't available, he's available. That's my argument. And the reality is, some of y'all didn't give him a single chance before he kicked the ball for our club, coming
Bingo.
from Chelsea's dysfunctional.
Bingo. Havertz is a proxy argument. You're not actually really arguing about Havertz. You're just overly defending a player based on the fact you don't like the people that are attacking him.
That's not completely
Therefore,
true. I just don't-
It's a bit true.
He doesn't
It's a
like
bit
me.
true.
No, I never
Spencer,
say that.
I
No,
like
no,
you,
It's
no,
massively
no.
true. It's
Spencer, I
massively
like
true.
you.
No, it's that.
Spencer,
see,
I thought we're
Tom's
friends.
Tom's just taking the piss over here. That's what he's doing. He's interjecting his Leeds United hatred for us. He just wants to. It's just like last night. He started the whole Lee Gunner discussion. He just knows how to get me going.
Yeah.
Shame on you, Tom.
No, like I said, I think, and I said this before, a team that went out and got Rice and got Timber, turned around and here, hold my beer while I go and screw this up and get Havertz. I don't think a team that would bring in those type of players and then get Havertz would tell me, look, they're part of the same plan, because they're not. Havertz isn't part of a plan that would say, look, we'll bring Rice in or bring Timber in for me. That's
He's
kind
a
of my
lux.
thing. I can't. The team that brings in Rice and then turns around and says, "I'm bringing in Havertz," and they're all part of the same plan, I think for me sounds off.
Oh, that was good.
Like I said, we were sitting there 2 winters ago. Arteta and Adu said they weren't going to sign a player that would derail the project. And Kai Havertz fits that role because they're spending 65, 70 million on a player. Did he really give you something that a 60 or 70 million striker wanted to give you? Would you rather have somebody that could score 20 goals or somebody that can
Like I
play
said,
attack?
like I said
LA?
before, the price tag doesn't match what we're supposed to get from him.
I hear what you're saying, but I think the price tag is infecting what you guys think of them.
No, because the price tag means that it limits what you can do, and we've seen this, right? You buy a Pepe for 72 mil, it hamstrings you for a bit, and then you can't get out of it. Because guess
And
what?
that
Your
didn't
funds are
hamstring
tied
us
into
that
a
bad
player
because it was
you
over
don't want to
5
play,
years.
right? And you can't
always-
sell because they're worth more. Their price tag is too high, right? That's the problem. And isn't that that's the problem right there. You spend a lot of money, you allocate a lot of resources to something, and you realize it's not even going to help you. And now what you're stuck with it. You're stuck with a player that isn't worth the money you spent, and you can't
And
go out
because
and fix
we had Kai, so there was no chance of us signing any players in the winter.
No one was going to sign anybody in the winter, Tony. You know that. Look what the club said.
I don't
Nobody.
know either, Brownlee.
We saw City didn't sign anybody. Liverpool didn't sign anybody. Chelsea didn't sign anybody. Everybody's scared to spend money right now. You know this.
No, all the rules is what is people don't want to get banged by the rules. You know why? Because the last thing they want is to drop in the table and lose even more money, right? So
Yeah.
you might as well play it safe because, it's all about survival of the riches, right? The riches meaning wherever you sit in the table, it makes the most money for you, and you don't. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's horrible.
Finish your thought, Tony.
You saw what we did 2 years ago. We go out, we get a Norwegian kid on loan, then we sign him in the summer. Good move. Don't tell me there's not anybody out there that you can't buy or get on loan in the winter. It's just bullshit.
Most of your winter moves don't work.
They said that when Newcastle went and got
Tony. There's no Odegaard level player who has the potential to be as good as Odegaard does if it pans out.
Mhm.
There's none of those players available anymore. Because guess what? People saw what happened there. Last thing they're gonna want to do is let them go, right? Or let them go for cheap. So I
Yeah,
think what you're saying makes sense,
but
but I don't
Gary,
think you're
if
gonna
you
see
if you
that.
if you have 65 million, you can find somebody in there. When were we linked to some of us strikers? It was in the winter windows.
Yeah, but there's no strikers available that it can outside of Tony and Awesome. For us right now, where we are, back in the days, we could have gotten players, right? But not anymore. They're not there. There's no strikers available, right? If like I said, I think if Arsenal really wanted to, they could have given Brentford the money and say, look, we're going to purchase him as soon as he comes off, comes out of suspension, and give him
So
the money
so
up
if
front.
there
Then
so if there are no strikers out there, why don't you keep the striker you had?
what
'Cause you
striker
couldn't
did we
afford
have?
to. You couldn't afford to. You had
Well-
to move. You had to move. He's talking about Balogun. You had to sell somebody, and Balogun was going to fetch you the highest price tag, and Arteta didn't rate him. And what has Balogun done where he's at now?
Balogun is probably the reason why you have Timber.
Absolutely.
And I think we needed more Timber than we needed a Balogun, who is not we needed an answer at striker. We didn't need, well, maybe he'll be good in a couple of years.
Gary, we've always had 4 or 5 strikers.
It does not anymore. Tony,
Now we have one
that is,
fucking striker.
we don't do that anymore. You look at your team. We don't do that.
Fun.
We keep going back to this history thing. Look at the team now. We don't hold on to that many strikers. We hold on to utility players that can move in and out of different positions. Right? That's what Arteta wants. He wants versatility.
Well, when I was at the MLS game, Vieira played left. He started at right wing, and then he moved over to the 8, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that's what Arteta wants. He wants guys that can play multiple positions. That's why Havertz was what he wanted. He can play him at the striker.
Think about it. The only players that aren't versatile for us right now is our goalkeeper and our 2 center backs.
And look, you can even take Declan Rice and throw him on the back line if you need an extra center back.
Yeah. No, but I mean, we don't have he already is versatile in the midfield. We don't, you know what I mean? Like our center backs don't move, right? You never seen them move out to a fullback position yet. No, right? So those are the only 3 positions on our field right now where you go, that's their spot. If they're healthy, that's where they play. Rice, I think, has moved around because I think Jorginho is actually a quality replacement when we need it. He can't play every game. One-offs, perfect, right? He's perfect for one-offs. Against the big teams who aren't going to play the similar kind of style, he's perfect for it. But he can't play every game, right? That's the only reason why. That's the only reason why Rice moves around. So for me,
Jorginho was value at 12 million too. Value,
it
was a steal.
Yeah, So like I said, I think we've got few players that are like, here's their spot. Like Saka he's only stuck there because Arteta's stubborn, because he should be able to move around. We know Trossard can. I think Trossard if Trossard could move around, I think Saka can as well. I think it would actually better his game if he actually played elsewhere, because I think he gets stuck in a rut and he can't get out of it. But guess what? If one day you said, "All right, you need to play a fullback today," give him a different view of the game, and his mind will be free of the responsibilities of the front line, and I have no doubt he'll play much better because of it.
That's part of that rotation. What you talk about, Gary? The rotation.
Yes.
You're not wrong.
Yes.
You're not wrong on that.
Yeah. Like Martinelli should get to play in the middle once in a while, not every other game, but once in a while, right? I mean, I think, like you said, we're seeing what you get from Havertz, right? Once in a while, you move him into that center position up top, and it works. He doesn't play it all the time, all right? Jesus comes back healthy. Are we expecting what happens when Jesus is ready to play? What do you see happening against Burnley?
I mean, he'd probably start. I think Eddie probably gets a run on Saturday. I say that based on the fact that they're going to try to move him in the summer. They probably think Burnley's going to play wide open. They probably won't have an issue finding goals. I could see Eddie on the team sheet on Saturday. And also we got, I think Porto is the following week too. So think about the rotation that may happen on Saturday in lieu for the Champions League game the following Wednesday on the, I believe this 21st.
I don't think Arteta. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but
Newcastle on
I
the
can't see
24th.
Arteta sitting his starters before a Champions League match.
Especially when they're basically all off almost the entire month of January.
I mean, there's two rules of thought to think, right? You get the game over in the first 45 minutes, done, dusted. And he may sit there and think, where you guys are right on this, we can do this to Burnley like we did West Ham, and I can 60th minute take 5 people off and then finish the game out.
Yeah.
So is that the smart play? Possibly. But, you know, they have to put their chances away. And so far, 14 goals in 3 games, they've shown they can do it. So I could be completely wrong, but I feel like Eddie's going to get a run eventually here again.
Yeah, and for me, that all of that stuff has to be part of like what you see in practice and in the games. Like if a player needs to come out, like I've been saying for rotation, then they just come out. It doesn't matter if Arteta, I think, will push these players too much. Like these players should be coming in and out of the lineup when they need to, not because they have to. You know what I mean? They're injured. That's usually the only reason why they're out. Like they should be just coming in and out of the lineup. You know, give you 2 and 3 games in a row of quality. Since you see a dip in whatever practice game, boom, they're out, and it's just part of the rotation. Players just get used to it. They know, like, you know what, I'm gonna give my all for 2.5, 3 games, and I might be out coming the second half of games and stuff. But it's just the way it works.
With
crazy
Brownlee's comment
What's that?
there. Brownlee's comment there. It's because Diego is
he looks like an animal.
Diego is a C word. Take the C from his last name and insert some other letters there.
Are you trying to call him a cunt, Tony?
Yes, Tom.
Why are you talking? Get your hand out of your mouth.
It's not in my mouth.
Well, in front of it. I want to hear what you got to say. Or maybe I don't. I don't know.
You quickly regretted that, didn't you?
No one has said that ever. It's the first
instant regret.
Gary's going straight to the wrap-up show.
Oh man.
Tom, where's your final question and your crisp bet? Gary wants them.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is all the everybody's trying to follow Pep, and it's like you got to have those players to follow him, and like why, that's people don't understand. Pep hasn't won every trophy he's gone for, and his reasons for it, right? Some luck and some, on the day,
Yep.
So I kind of feel like you should be good at what you do with what you got, as opposed to I'm going to try and mimic what you do, right? We don't have a Kevin De Bruyne right now. We have close to it, but not Kevin De Bruyne. We don't have a Haaland, so we can't play like nobody can play like City because they don't have a Haaland. There's only one of those guys. How many people have a Rodri? Not many. Few.
I could argue Rodri's the most important player on that team, man.
Yeah. So like think about it. Who's got goalkeepers like Liverpool and City right now in the world of football?
A lot of the more successful teams rely on the defensive midfielder.
Yep.
Makaleli back in the mid 2000s.
No, but like right now, you got Rodri and Rice. Who else?
No,
what name is? Yeah. Sorry.
My point is that that's a position that in modern football, and when I say modern football, I mean like say 2000 onwards, that position is key to a lot of the teams that have won a lot of things. For example, like I say, Claude Makaleli went from Real Madrid to Chelsea, and then Real Madrid didn't win anything for about 3 years, and then Chelsea did for 3 years. He was key part of that. Rodri is the similar sort of mentality. Roy Keane, that's an excellent example as well. Patrick Vieira for Arsenal, in my opinion, you've only just replaced him with Declan Rice.
People have been asking for that. You know what? Since I've been following Arsenal since 2012, they've been asking for that. They've
There
been
you go.
asking for that.
What
Can you
we
get me a Vieira replacement, please?
we did have his replacement, but for the sake of whoever, let's make this guy the most fragile player ever.
What do you mean
Because
make the most fragile? Arsenal.
We're
Di-
not
Diaby was a
successful
great
teams that don't
player.
have that.
How did they make him fragile?
The
How did
gods who
Arsenal do that?
created him, the
They
football
stopped giving
gods.
him milk. What did they do?
I don't know. Ask the football gods.
No,
Just,
okay, the football guys. Yes, something that we don't know exists.
Yeah.
No, you just go and get the best player. That's how it works,
Diaby
right?
was the best player. He
And
just
he wasn't
repeatedly
because he
got
wasn't
injured.
available, right? We've gone over this. You guys harped on this availability thing with me already. He wasn't available, so guess what? He's not the answer. That's what you guys told me. I'll play it back right at you.
No, I'm saying we had the player. He was there.
You know you didn't.
He just didn't
Spencer,
work out.
did you have the player with Diaby? Based on,
Awesome.
huh?
I'm not gonna lie, I got a headache. I don't know. I kind of zoned out for a second. No, I'm just tired from last night. I mean, Gary, it's nothing we've been talking about. I've enjoyed the conversation because we were kind of like sleepwalking through the first hour. Then all of a sudden we were like, pulled the handbrake. And we're like, let's go.
If you could do like the little thinking sleeping bubble of Spencer down there, you got Kai just running, swinging through swing sets. They're both running together hand in hand.
I don't know what
That's what
this is,
Spencer's thinking
Mr.
right
Tom.
now.
What's going on?
He thinks I have a love fest for Kai Havertz. I don't.
Oh.
It wore him out.
I'm just a believer that a guy that comes to an organization that's structured and has good coaching will do just as good as he did at Bayer Leverkusen. That's just my belief.
Yeah, but we don't have that guy yet.
I disagree, but that's okay. We can, but that's the beautiful thing, Gary. We can disagree. We can agree to disagree.
I've already said we might get that guy, but I don't think it'll be until next season. He's been playing better, but he isn't where I think we wanted him to be when he came in.
Well, I think his biggest asset has been his availability at this point too, and that's something that we've needed so bad. And again,
available
this comes
player
down to people not being
who's basically hitting the ball out of the park essentially. Rice is, but when are we gonna get the other ones?
Rice and the center backs.
Half a dozen of the Jesus Christ.
What were you gonna say?
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, Mr. Tom. It's
hard.
hard.
Tony hasn't worn me out. I have a headache from the Super Bowl last night. I stayed up too late. I didn't get any sleep.
You know what? Were you drinking while you were watching it, or
no?
Just...
I had a whole pot of coffee while I was hanging out with him and Ryan. I just never fell asleep. It's my own fault. I was caffeined out.
Yeah, you hit that. It was the crash, right? The crash is worse than the high from the coffee. I did that in college. I was like drinking coffee all night studying for a test, and then like around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I got the shakes, and I was like, okay, this isn't working.
This isn't gonna help out either.
I took a shower, I came back, and I was like, I don't know what I just studied for like the last 4 hours. That didn't work.
Yeah. We were all in the office today, like a bunch of freaking zombies, just staring there, like, what's the purpose of life? This should be a holiday after the Super Bowl, but whatever. So
very true. Very true.
No, it's nothing here. I'm just exhausted.
I mean, can I replace President's Day? I mean,
that would be I'm good with it.
Anything you don't have a national holiday for?
We don't have Boxing
Beer.
Day.
We don't have a holiday for beer or chicken wings.
Well, maybe you should, Gary.
I'm just saying, I could do it a day for beer.
Yeah, there's days for beer.
No, I'm not getting a day off for beer.
It's called Saturday.
I get a day off for turkey, but I don't get a day off for beer.
Turkey holidays.
Yes, you do.
Awesome.
You get 2 holidays off for beer.
One thing I will say that Gary Neville has said that I do agree with to some degree, and I try not to pay attention to him, but he did say he doesn't understand why turkey is so popular because it's dry generally.
Yep.
But the thing that he said that actually made me think, hang on a minute, is when he said if it was that good, you wouldn't only have it once a year in England.
No, turkey is actually pretty good if you do it right. It doesn't have to dry. Dry means you screwed it up, and that's what happens.
The easiest thing to do with a
dry
turkey.
meat.
No, but I mean, if
Thaw out your turkey,
done.
throw it
That's
in the
wrong.
fucking
You got it
fryer,
wrong. That's
and
all.
it's juicy.
Yeah.
It's that simple. People don't know how to cook it in the oven for some
I'm
reason.
assuming in England all they do is bake over there.
But if you throw that fucker in the
Yeah,
fryer, it's
turkey
good to go.
turkey doesn't
Oh,
have to be
oh,
dry. The reason why is
I'm sorry
reason
I
why they
haven't
have
got
the
the
gravy.
Grillmaster 9000, and then I fucking throw about 6 wings in there, and then put about 52 different ingredients on it, and then call it a fucking sauce.
You forgot the injector where you infuse all the
Yeah, you gotta
spices
inject
into
it,
No,
it.
no.
yeah.
Like I said, I think like if turkey is
Or
dry, that means
spray
it's
on it
been
as
done
well.
wrong. That's all. Yeah. No,
Can I go back to let's go where Gary's wrong. Gary, there
I'm
are
not
2
wrong.
holidays, 2 beer holidays.
There aren't 2 beer. There's no holiday where I
There's 2
go.
beer holidays.
No, go ahead. Tell me.
Neither one.
Tell me.
Memorial Days, not the purpose of it, but it's the first day of summer, and guess
Yeah.
what you're doing?
That's
You're
the
going to the
barbecue
beach,
days, not
and you're
beer.
drinking some fucking
You
beer.
got it all. You don't even
You
understand what
got
these
fucking
holidays
Labor
are for.
Day.
4th
You
of
got
July
Labor Day, which is
and
the
Memorial
first
Day.
week.
Those
Labor Day
Memorial
is the
Day
first.
is ceremony.
One
Labor Day is the
Oh,
first.
Come on.
Nah,
Labor
you
Day is the
pretend you
first
like it
weekend
more
of
than you
college
do.
football. The end of fucking summer. Everybody's at the lake again on the boat, drinking. You're barbecuing.
It's not. It
Those
is
are
not
2 drinking
centered.
fucking holidays.
Tony, it's not
2
centered
drinking
around
holidays.
beer. Thanksgiving is centered around a big bird.
Fired you up, Spencer.
Yeah.
I think so. You started talking about turkey and Thanksgiving, and I was like,
Fucking fired me up.
Thanksgiving is centered around a big bird. Memorial Day and Labor Day, they're not centered around beer.
Strange that. Talking about Mbappe and Arsenal was absolutely turgid, but talking about Turkey, amazing. Everyone
Do you have
instantly fixed.
do you amazingly have turkey flavored crisp, Tom? That would be the icing on the cake.
Oh.
It's funny you should say that.
We are.
Tony.
You know what? It's probably about that time, Mr. Tom. So, I'm going to do something here. For those who, I love this part of the show just because I love this video. So here we go, folks. I hope you like this video too. That's the best. I love the
I'm
faces.
not sure.
I love
I'm
the
not sure if
faces
he
of
should have
Mr.
went for
Tom.
3 toms.
They're great.
I would have got into it if you did 2 toms, but 3 toms was too many toms.
3 Toms do it with the same, like, different faces of disgust. I love it.
It was. It's painful. Like so many weeks of absolute. Oh,
But the original one to me still the best because Tom's trying so hard not to just send the whole bag of crisps across his room.
it's true. It's factually true. Anyway, so I know Tony's going to be upset by this, but I went for a bag of crisps I know I'm going to like because I'm absolutely upset with how many bags I've ate this year that I did not like.
Walker, did you go for Walker's Ready Salted
Is
Tom?
this a
Nope.
spicy chili one?
No, although tempting, but I went for Crunchips roasted spare rib flavour.
Oh, spare rib flavored. That's a terrible
There you
name.
go. We're talking about barbecuing and beer. And
That's a terrible
Tom
name for a
went out there.
flavor. You can't have spare rib flavored chips. There's no such thing.
What's barbecue?
Bacon.
No, that's barbecue. It's because that is
Barbecue's
barbecue.
Barbecue's not
Barbecue is not spare rib. You know what spare ribs taste like? They don't taste like barbecue sauce.
It
what
does
does
taste a bit
barbecue
like
taste
barbecue crisps, essentially.
Yeah, it should just be
Like,
called
beef
barbecue
and-
chips, unless they put some meat flavoring in there.
Nice and safe.
Yeah. I hope everybody enjoyed this
But,
show.
but all they would have to do is just put
You know what's funny? We
little
won
bit of
6-0.
liquid smoke.
I know we didn't even want to talk about the 6-0 win. Talk
No.
about Mbappe and Chris and
I don't know
whatever.
how Mbappe was a topic for 40 minutes. But
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
when Tom's at a 5 crisp every 10 seconds ratio, it's a good crisp.
Well, he said he's gonna only get flavors he likes for this particular show. So, go ahead, Mr. Tom. Tell us. Let's get a score because I think there's a big score coming.
I bet too many. Okay. Okay. So 1 second. Just to put the shield over my microphone. Just in case. Okay. So,
Are you ready for the
Answer the
Super Bowl? So
the
good.
Crisp Emporium, of course. You know what?
What did Ezekiel tell you?
This is easily a top 10 crisp.
Mm.
Possibly a top 5. Maybe even a top 3. It's not a top 1.
If it goes any higher, then I know why you put the plastic on there.
Yeah.
Kind of like when Spencer saw Elway come out yesterday.
But in all seriousness, it's
Thanks.
clearly a 9.2 out of an 11.1. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. We've been here for a bit. It's probably time for us to go. I know Spencer's yawning, which sounds
Yeah,
like
sorry, man.
it's the end of the show. So, Spencer, before you fall asleep, tell the people bye-bye.
All right, bye everybody. Hey, got a 6-0 win. Burnley this weekend. Champions League next week. Newcastle after that on the 24th. Let's just do the damn thing and keep it moving. Thanks, Tom, for hanging out. Tony, Gary, for having me on. It was a good discussion tonight, and I had fun and enjoyed everybody came by and put their opinions in. So I'll be on Wednesday with Ryan. We're supposed to be doing a podcast, Mr. Arsenal, on Wednesday, so I'll be on that.
Cool.
I thought you were doing the show today.
Well, he had a headache, and
Well,
then
of course he did.
yeah,
He's awake
he
till
did
4 a.m.
back-to-back shows, and then
Yeah.
he did Super Bowl. Crazy man. All
Yeah.
right.
So
Good
we're
night.
later this week.
Nice to be here. Missed you guys the last few days. Last week wasn't a good week. Saturday, my body didn't like me, so today's nice to be here. Nice to give Spencer a hard time about Kai. Sorry that it exhausted Spencer, but nice being here talking with you guys.
Very cool. And last, I guess before me anyways, Mr. Tom, say bye.
Me again.
I figured I let you finish eating, but then you just kept eating more, so it just backfired on
Fucking
me.
Tom looks like one of those animals caught on tape eating.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to happen so quickly. I thought Tony was going to Tony it, but then it turned out that he actually Tony'd it. Yeah, so I didn't realise what Tony we were going to get in that situation because he started to filibuster and then he went back to normal Tony where he was just like, yep, see you later. Bye, sort of thing. But no, seriously, thank you everyone for in the chat, doing your thing, keeping us honest. A little bit too honest, really. So have a good week. I'll see you on whatever days that I see you, whether it's Wednesday or Thursday or whenever. So yeah, have a good week, BX. Keep the contents coming. Tony, I did get you a present.
What was my present?
Oh, you'll know when I get it, and then I'm going to forward it on to you. But
Oh
Okay.
man, that's the tease, man. That's
Yeah.
a serious tease.
yeah, it
Wow,
is.
that's
It is.
serious tease. But yes, everybody, thank you for coming. We'll do this again. I appreciate you joining us and chatting in the chat and us going back and forth. I think that's cool. We love that. The game was easy to talk about because there was not much bad to say, so we went elsewhere, which is cool. We'll do this thing again next week. I'll be away over the weekend, so Mr. Tom or somebody else will be running the show on Saturday morning. We'll see who joins the show on the Saturday morning. It's probably Tom, but you never know. We always have special guests show up. So other than that, everybody, thank you for joining us.
Give Spencer the keys.
Give Spencer
What?
the keys.
Tom,
Do what?
Tom always gets the keys.
Yeah, Spencer's not always available, but if he wants the keys one day, he can have them. But let's get into it. We'll see you guys later.
We have food at home. I want a Happy Meal. Sorry.
Yeah.
Now it's time for
When
Byron Cup.
I press on your foot, and say hello, Mr. Thompson, you will say okay.
Is DX
Hello,
joining
Mr.
us for
Thompson
Okay.
Monday night party?
from The Simpsons. I think he's talking to you.
Tom, and
All right, we're out of here. Let me say bye.
Invite DX
Tony.
to the party.
Tony, shut up. Let's get out of here.
Yeah,
guys.
Tony's back. Let's tell him. Let's
No.
shut up.
We're out of
Yay.
here. Everybody, see you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you again.
Life is a journey. Don't waste your trip. Enjoy the ride.